Recon Athlete Podcast is brought to you by Kreitz Market, The Social, and Focus Fit San Marcos. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 54. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez. Zach Luceto is on his way. Snoop Daniel over there on the couch in the green room. What up, Snoop? Yeah. We did get a PS4 yesterday. A little early birthday gift for Mr. Snoop Daniel. His birthday is next Wednesday on the 26th. So shout out to Snoop. I want to shout out, of course, to Mr. Paul Rodriguez for holding it down on Wednesday on my birthday. I actually went out to eat for my birthday. Great job, by the way. He was solo. It was good, man. I watched the whole thing. I listened to it. Me and Snoop actually listened to it, together a little bit, and we were very impressed, man. So,
well, I mean, I tell you what, I was happy that I could, kind of hold it down while I let you enjoy that or you enjoyed your birthday dinner. Because, man, let me tell you what, it's always fun to have the time to just go out and like take some time for yourself. Sometimes you gotta have that self-love, that self-care. You gotta take care of your number one star player sometimes.
Yeah, we actually went to Fat Dragon. It's a little place, little dumplings. Yeah, dumplings. Shout out to Stefano. He was actually telling me what to get there. They got a little Asian fusion, a little bit of ramen. We didn't do the ramen, but it was good. Only complaint. I didn't really have a complaint. It was it's like counter service there.
Ooh, that's a no go. For me.
So you got to walk up to the counter and order, and then it was funny because then we also had to go get our own water, get our own plates, get our own forks and everything, dude. And so I ended up pretty much just getting everything for everybody, And Michelle, shout out Michelle. She's like, hey, it's your birthday. Why are you working? I was like, I don't know, I'm Mexican. That's what we do. We just start doing things.
It's just your intuition, man.
I just keep working. So, all right, on today's pod, we're going to talk favorite players of Zach and Paul, some random players. I've been enjoying my 40th birthday celebration this week. I'll talk about that a little bit, and maybe get into some NFL and NCAA. So shout out to watch party already in effect. Virginia, Robbie Lopez, Sarita, and Stephanie. What up, Stephanie? I do want to say special shout out to my girl Michelle. She's been amazing. She's been getting all these birthday celebration stuff all together, and we've got the big celebration tonight. So that's going to be at Revelry on the Boulevard, right up here on the street, right up the street on North Lamar. About 7:30. Paul, you're going to make an appearance?
I'm going to be there. I'm doing my best, to bring the dude who's been MIA this whole time, and King Kalunga. Okay. I put it in his ear. I talked to him last night. We had a little bit of communication last night, so we'll see how things fare. But I will definitely be in the building tonight at Revelry on the Boulevard this evening.
And I think so. I think Stephanie will be there. I think Virginia might be there too. So, because some of these people on our watch party might be at the party tonight. So, say what's up to some of our super fans.
Thank y'all so much for supporting us and tuning in every time we're here on Facebook Live. And I just want to make sure everybody has that in their head. I'm so appreciative. I know Chris and Zach are so appreciative. Thank y'all very much for y'all support along our journey.
Yeah, and Virginia says happy birthday. See you tonight. And Stephanie also says I'll be there. So shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. I will see y'all tonight after my much needed nap. Because I've been going hard, dude.
You've been going ham, son.
I've been going crazy, dude.
No, I would say not crazy,
but I just been enjoying it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think I mentioned this too on the earlier pods. I was kind of depressed about it for a little bit. Kind of went through those phases.
Yeah.
And but last week when we started going out, shout out to Chubby because Chubby's birthday was on the 13th. We started on the 13th. Basically, we started going out then, and really just enjoying, everybody's company and going out and, having great dinners and just really, being with all the people that really support you and, are part of your life.
Celebrating the life.
Yeah. So Zach's on the watch party says I'm more appreciative than Paul.
Yes, you are, Zach. You are very much more appreciative.
And he said he's almost here. But yeah, I mean it's been fun. We've been having a great time. I want to special Thanks to my mom who put on a great get together last Sunday for me for a lot of the family. Had a lot of the aunts and uncles and cousins and family members show up for that.
I know, man. I felt bad because like I got the notification and like I know you, and you know when you do the family thing, it's kind of like word of mouth kind of thing. And I got the word of mouth at like an hour before, and I had already lit the coals on on the old smoky, and so I was like, do I dump these coals or do I just do this? And my pops was coming over. Papa Romeo, shout out Papa Romeo, was coming over to the house, and I was grilling up some chicken, made some refried beans and some, I think we had some tortillas too. So bro, we rubbed down, but I wanted to make sure, like I told, your cousin Stefano, just to be like, hey man, like for sure I'll be there at Revelry on the Boulevard on the 22nd.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been pretty much every night we're going to go eat somewhere, and shout out to Lockery and we've been to Revelry, we've been to Corner Bar, we've been to Common Interest, we've been to all of our favorite places, Sam's Boat and all those places, seeing a lot of our friends and hanging out. And the only complaint about my 40th birthday so far was having to renew my license.
Really?
I had to do that yesterday.
Did you have to go into the building?
I had to go inside. I had to go to the DPS into like just I don't know.
The one over there off Palmer?
Or just no. There's one right here. There's one right here. The actual DPS headquarters.
Oh, downtown?
No, on North Lamar, right here by the Whataburger.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took off work yesterday. Thank you, Sylvia and Diana, for holding it down out at Manor. I get up at like 8:15, right? Because I wanted to be there at 8
as fast as you could be,
but I just kind of overslept a little bit, and I got up at 8:15. I shot out the door real fast. Get to DPS. It's about a mile away from here.
It's close.
It's real close.
For you.
Get a number. Sit down. I'm starting to fall asleep a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be sitting here for a couple hours at least. And then I was like, man, do I have everything I need? And so I went up to the information desk and I was like, hey, I've got my application. I've got this and this and this. And homeboy was like, you need your birth certificate. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah.
So
you don't have it?
A social security card wouldn't work?
I didn't have that either.
Okay.
I had other stuff.
Okay.
So he was like, all right. He was like, were you born in Texas? I said I was. I was born in Austin.
BVS.
So I had to go to the Health and Human Services.
Yeah, son.
Vital statistics.
BVS. I'm telling you, baby. Hey, that's my business.
You already knew.
I knew.
You already know. But luckily, thankfully, that place is a mile away from here. It's like literally
everything's on Lamar.
Everything's on Lamar right here. So I had to leave the DPS, go down over here to the Vital Statistics office, get another number.
Yeah.
Wait an hour in line for that just to get a certified birth certificate. So I get that. I'm cool. All right, I'm cool. Go back to the DPS, and they were about maybe 5 or 6 numbers past me, and I was like, dang. It's like, all right. That's okay. So I get another number, and then I go meet Francesca. Shout Francesca. Meet her and Javier, her husband, for lunch at Enchiladas y Mas.
Nice.
So good. Then I come home. So I get that number. The second number, I get that about 10:45 a.m., right?
Okay.
So I go eat lunch, come home. Me and Snoop go to Walmart, get the PS4 and the games and all that. We come back. I go back to the DPS at 1:30. I was number 97. They were on 93.
No.
At 1:30.
So 4 hours later?
Like 3 hours, about 3 hours later.
Golly.
3 hours later.
Aren't you glad he left?
Dude, I'm so glad I left. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get this number. I'm gonna go eat enchiladas y mas. I'm gonna go home. This thing's gonna take forever, and then I'm just gonna roll the dice and go back up there. Because even I got back here about 12:30 after lunch, and even Snoop was like, "Nah, bro." He's like, "You got at least an hour." He was like, I know you got an hour." And I was like, "All right." So we just kind of hung around. We hooked up the PS4, started playing some. I watched him play some MLB The Show. I mean, for real, man, it was just like. But you know what? I don't have to do that again for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
I can do online. My license doesn't expire for 6 years, so I can do that online. But yeah, I think you can do appointments and stuff. But I was trying to do that online and I couldn't get it to work. So
see, mine's due this year.
Okay.
And I think this is one of the years I have to go in because I haven't been I haven't been there in like 15 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it expires in 2020.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna have to go in and be like, "Oh, we need a new picture."
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a new picture.
It's a new picture because when I was working and my wallet fell out of my back pocket. I went to use the bathroom and it fell out, and of course, I really just didn't pay attention. And finally, it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours later. Some lady comes next to my desk and she's like, are you Paul? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And she goes, I think we have your wallet. And the guy comes over and he like opens the wallet and my driver's license there. Well, if you've seen my driver's license, I don't look like this.
Right.
I'm like baby face,
right.
Like probably 70 pounds lighter. And the dude like opens it. He goes, is this you? And I go, yeah, man, that's me. I was 20 when that picture was taken.
Yeah.
I'm 36 now, so long time coming. It's time to get a new picture.
I know the lady that helped me, when I finally got to get up there and to renew my license, the worker was like, she was real cool. She was real nice. She was like, oh, she got my birth certificate, so she was like, oh, true Austinite, huh? And I was like, yeah, so we started BSing about that. And
was she one?
And no, she was not. She was like, what do you think about all this, transplants coming and ruining your city? And I was like, it's cool, it's whatever. But anyways, she pulled up my old license and she was like, oh, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Because I had taken that picture like 10 years ago. I was like, I don't know who that is, but that's somebody totally different. All right. So shout out to people that have been joining our watch party. Let's see. Leonard Davila, Meredith Hudson. What's up, Murph? Danger Russell Burgess. Me and Snoop were just talking about Russ yesterday. Shout out to Russ. He's actually the reason why I started in radio. He gave me my first job as a promotions assistant.
Awesome.
Mandy Partita. Hi, Mandy. We'll see you tonight. Shout out to Paul Carroza and see Robbie Lopez says, hell yeah, enchiladas y mas is so good. It really is. It really is. Shout out to Robbie Lopez. All right, Recon Athlete episode 54. We're going to talk about some players, random players.
Yeah.
Zach had this idea the other day where he was like, oh man, let's think of like 3 random players and just kind of talk about them. And, I like halfway finished, or not even halfway finished. I thought of one, and I'll tell the story a little bit later. We'll also talk about a little bit of NFL, NCAA. Shout out to BJ, called right before we got on there. He was talking some Dak Prescott, and we might get into that a little bit later. So
for sure.
Let's go ahead and get started. Zach's about to be here in a little bit, but just random / favorite players. Paul, you got 3?
Yeah, I got 3.
I got 1.
Okay.
Zach's got 3, I think. Let's start off with yours. You went with your favorite.
Well, I now that I started thinking about it, I mean, I have favorite players, and they're kind of just things that I've experienced as I grew up. Of course, like watching the Cowboys in the 90s, but I started thinking about things a little bit more in depth, and the biggest name that sticks out to me was Ndamukong Suh.
Okay.
And the reason I bring up Ndamukong Suh is because when Colt McCoy, I think, was a junior, and Nebraska was challenging Texas for the Big 12 title, that kick, the horns are driving down, and Colt McCoy throws this out route, and they put 1 second back on the clock. Well, Ndamukong Suh was like the big player coming out. I think he was like a Nagurski Awards winner, a Bednarik winner. He won all these defensive awards. And the reason why I think it sticks out to me is because I think this guy, knowing his more aggressive play nature, you kind of put him in like eras previous, like in the 90s, he could have totally played. You go back to like the 80s when there was no such thing as offensive holding. And then you kind of go back to like the 70s of how, you had the Ray Nitschkes, you had the Randy Whites, these just hard-nosed, tough dudes who would just like dominate players, take your wheel. And I'm like, this is like what Ndamukong Suh could definitely do, especially transition to the NFL. He plays things a little dirty, and that's fine. I mean, to a point. I mean, there's a line, like nobody's talking about the dirty play of like Myles Garrett ripping off people's helmets and trying to like crack people's skulls open. We're not talking about that. Or we're not talking about that defensive line Henderson who tried to stomp on Gerard, offensive lineman for Dallas, Gerard's head, like with open cleats, right? We're not talking about that. We're just talking about someone who is borderline, maniac, but also plays within the rules through the whistle, one of those kind of players. And that's why like he kind of really stuck out to me because I'm like, this dude could have easily played in eras as a defensive lineman, not only now, but maybe in the 90s and the 80s. And just having that raw nature, I think allowed him to be that type of player who could play, in any era. And that's something that stuck out to me as a random, just a random player. Like what memories do you have of Ndamukong Suh without talking about like him stomping on people or?
I mean, but that's what he's known for. I mean, like,
dude, he was known for taking offensive linemen's will with play.
That's true. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I do remember a lot of, he's a force in the middle. Yeah. Somebody that you had to account for if you're offensive line. You basically had to take on, or had to use 2 offensive linemen to block him. But unfortunately, what sticks out of my mind, and maybe it's just because of the media coverage.
It is the media, man.
Is the kicking and the stomping and the like just
chicken shit. Yeah. The chicken shit. That's what we used to call it. That's what my shout out Coach Davis, Coach Les Davis. He was like, man, that's some chicken shit. Like, yeah, it is, Coach. I don't know what to tell you.
But unfortunately, that's kind of maybe it is the media coverage. But he is was a force down in the middle. So who's your second guy?
Another one, man, is this dude's got a special place because when I was coming up in high school, he was like the dude at defensive tackle because I played the one technique, and Warren Sapp Daddy.
Okay.
This dude, man, pretty much was like a no-name coming out of high school. Like played tight end, went to the U as a tight end, and then whenever he got set up, they were like, let's go ahead and move you to the defensive line. And, I mean, this dude was playing with Hall of Famers, and the dude is a Hall of Famer. And he's another one of those dudes who's, he comes from a dirt road, a literal dirt road, no AC, growing up in a structure, not a house, ain't got a room, got to use the bathroom outside. And, he put this mindset in his brain to say, look, I'm going to take things to the umpteenth degree and make a life for me and for my family. And that's exactly what he did. But him coming out of college really didn't follow because I was still kind of young. But him and Brett Favre, man, had wars, not only physical but verbal. And I think them growing over the years was like the biggest thing that stuck out was like how articulate he could be on the field, but also back it up with his play. Because a lot of times you got dudes who could bark all day long, but unless your name was Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Brian Dawkins, or Warren Sapp, a lot of times it just didn't get backed up.
Yeah. And so, I mean, did you all do all defensive linemen, Paul?
Bro, I love D-line, man. I love D-line. I ain't got to care. My next one is a defensive player, and y'all ain't gonna like him, but I'm gonna share the wealth, man. Like, let somebody else get on this. Do you want to do your one?
I know, because I half did mine, or a third did mine.
You didn't even understand what I was saying.
I mean, not really. You said random players, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else is to explain.
There is nothing really.
But
you want to do yours?
So I heard Paul say Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
So I got 2 Nebraska guys of my 3.
Really?
The first one is I mentioned in the group when I brought it up. I don't know why, but Kenny Bell came into my mind. The receiver from Nebraska. Just a real like possession guy, not huge. I just sent a highlight in the group messages if y'all want to watch it real quick.
Okay.
But what kind of not necessarily put him on the map, but he was already like the main threat for Nebraska at the time. Was just he had like a crushing block, man. Like it would have been, he would have got arrested if that was the NFL now. So I mean, Kenny Bell, man, and he was just fun to watch. That was when Nebraska was like coming off the Ndamukong Suh era. I'm pretty sure it was. So they were still pretty good. They had a quarterback that I'm about to talk about later, but Paul's watching the highlight right now.
Yep.
Let me see. I can't because I got the watch party going, so I can't get it. I can't get the thing. See, let's see. Here we go, and then pass down the run.
Right to
he
left.
Gets it.
Right to left.
And then, that is a dirty.
That's what we call.
Not dirty though.
No, it wasn't dirty.
That's what we call.
Not dirty. I meant like dirty block. Like, dang, that's
like a good block.
That's what we call a decleater.
Yes.
Yeah, he like flipped him.
Exactly.
Yeah. He had like a little run to the NFL. I think I picked up by the Broncos for a little bit, but I mean, he was one of those guys that really like was at his peak in college and was just one of those fun college players to watch. My other Nebraska guy, probably one of my favorite. I might be able to say he's my favorite college quarterback of all time.
Can we guess?
No, yeah, but I don't think he'll ever get it.
The Martinez guy.
Oh, I already said Nebraska.
That's exactly who I was gonna say.
Taylor Martinez, man. That dude was so good. Team Magic, what they called him, man. Yeah. He was probably the best Mexican in college football ever. I don't even know if he's really Mexican, but
he's not.
I mean, he's not. I'm gonna look this up. Anyways, go ahead, Paul or Zach. Sorry,
but I mean, he wasn't huge, man. He was probably like 6 foot, 6'1". Yeah. He just ran all over the place, man. He was one of the first quarterbacks to really kind of say like, forget throwing the ball. Like I'm just gonna.
He was like a Hispanic Scott Frost.
Yeah, I mean, he was just going. I mean, I only know Scott Frost as the coach.
That's a Nebraska quarterback.
The coach of Nebraska.
He won the Heisman.
But how tall was he on there on Wikipedia?
6'1".
Yeah, and that was probably being generous too. So
in cleats.
Yeah, I mean, he was just fun to watch, man. He was in Heisman consideration for a little while. He had I think it was like his sophomore or junior year. He really was like his highlight year. Then the year after that, he was kind of like a little bit of a letdown. But man, Team Magic, he was fun to watch. I remember I was like in high school at the time, and any of my friends that had a name that started with a T, I tried to call him Team Magic. So I thought that was such a cool name.
So and then he came out of college. It says here he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2014 as an undrafted rookie free agent. But the Eagles already had Nick Foles, Mark Sanchez, as they like to say. I say Sanchez, but and Matt Barkley on their roster. So
he's like not doing anything football related now. I remember I tried to reach out to him one time whenever I was working at the Horn, trying to get him to come on the show when I was trying to help book guests. He didn't follow me back, but no, he's not really doing it. He just kind of tweets every now and then about his Cornhuskers, and that's about it. But not Team Magic. That's a good one right there.
That's your dude, huh?
That's my dude.
That's hilarious.
Chris, your
my one guy. Okay, my one guy comes with a story behind it. All right, so a little just the reason why I picked this guy because one time at band camp,
y'all kissed.
We went to so me and my buddy Bird. I don't know why we were there, but we went to this Cinco de Mayo celebration, like Fiestas Patrias, down on,
Let me find out yours is Taylor Martinez too. Hey,
so we're there, right? So me and Bert are there, and we're hanging out. We're, getting some gorditas and
I was going to say, get some tapas or what?
Dude, we were, I don't know why we went. We just randomly went, right?
Because you were hungry.
And there was this like random dude that was wearing this jersey, right? And we both were like, where do you get a Gus Frerotte jersey? It was a Washington Redskins Gus Frerotte jersey. We were like, this dude really likes the Redskins, or is just like,
or it is Gus Frerotte,
or is like, is that Gus? Like, this dude was straight up sporting a Gus Frerotte jersey, and I don't know why, but that always sticks in my mind, that story. And so that was like when you said random players, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
That was a random instance, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
So who is Gus Frerotte?
Is Gus Frerotte. Do you know who Gus Frerotte was? So Gus Frerotte.
I know Gus Bus from Benchwarmers.
He was a quarterback for the Washington Redskins. He was drafted in 1994, 7th round draft pick. He was actually picked after their first round draft pick. Well, obviously first round draft pick, 7's after one, but the first round draft pick for the Redskins that year was Heath Schuler. So Heath Schuler was supposed to be like their quarterback, their guy. They picked Gus Frerotte in the 7th round. Gus Frerotte ends up because Heath Schuler gets hurt, injuries and all that. So Gus Frerotte ends up being their quarterback, right, for the Redskins.
So you're telling me the Redskins have a history of drafting like RG3-1 and then Kirk Cousins in later rounds? So this is historical?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yes, this is historical. He came out of Tulsa. Like I said, 1994. He was pick number 197. He actually made the Pro Bowl in 1997. So he was a
rookie?
I think it was like his third year.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like his second or third year. But yeah, he just one of those just really random dudes. He ended up playing for after the Redskins. He ended up playing for the Lions, Broncos, Bengals, Vikings, Dolphins, Rams, and then ended his career in 2008 with the Vikings. But just one of those career backup kind of quarterbacks. After he spent a couple years as a starter, and I just randomly, if you say random player, that's the guy that I'm always going to think about, Gus Frerotte. You've never even heard of that dude, right? Nope. There's no reason why anybody would ever would ever think about Gus Frerotte. But I can still remember seeing that little Mexican dude.
And it was a little Mexican dude?
Yeah.
That jersey are probably on sale.
Man, Gus for like he got it somewhere.
Starter.
He got that at Goodwill, bro.
I mean, probably. But we were just tripping, and we were like, man, homeboy was like. Because this was probably like 2002, 2003, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, Gus Frerotte was already, like, kind of on somebody's roster, second or third string quarterback, whatever. But this dude was rocking it, man. This dude was rocking it. So, shout out to Gus Frerotte. That was my one random player. Who's next? Paul.
We're gonna do a little switch up. Just because I started following him on Instagram probably like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&I, or AKA Texas A&M Kingsville offensive line, Roberto Garza at Hondo, Texas, or Hondo, Texas, if you really want to get technical. Played at Texas A&M Kingsville, came out, played for Chicago for a lot of years, was one of the guards that was protecting Jay Cutler. Him and his where that meme with the cigarette came out. That's when he was there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Roberto Garza. I mean, as far as I know, like he still lives in Kyle. Like he lives here close. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. I mean, that's one of the guys who was on the ESPN in Espanol on Monday Night Football, like their Spanish coverage. He was like one of their commentators pregame, like before the game would start. And there was a time where I was like, man, let me just check out what these guys are getting down. And it was cool to have someone from Texas rocking them cowboy boots and that salt and pepper goatee that he was rocking, like, straight out of South Texas. And it was cool to see, someone who, looked like us on national TV representing for, the folks out there to, put on Monday Night Football. I thought it was pretty cool. And, Roberto Garza, if we get him on the pod, that would be pretty dope as well. Since, down the street. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll reach out and see if we can do that. But Roberto Garza, I spent some time down in Kingsville at school there for a couple of semesters. And knowing that history, man, there's a lot of history down there a lot of people may not know about. But it's good that there's an opportunity for, people in South Texas to go to a university that has NFL pipeline in it. So it's just good to have that opportunity. But Roberto Garza, offensive guard, I think he played 11 years in the NFL. Made some good Skrilla, and dude still jacked as hell, man.
That's what's up. All right, Zach, your last one.
All right, my last one, former Oklahoma State quarterback Zach Robinson. The only reason I remember him is I remember watching a game, and they had to stop the game because someone had a laser pointer and was pointing it in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? It was like a green laser pointer, and he was like freaking all out. I think they might have been playing Colorado, I think.
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
That was when Colorado was still in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But Zach Robinson, I was looking at his Wikipedia, and he one of his senior year, I think, the only quarterback to rush for more yards than him was Tim Tebow. I mean, he was a solid quarterback, and I mean, he was blessed with those receivers that they have there. I think he was the Dez Bryant era quarterback
at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Zach Robinson, because
that sounds right.
It was Dez Bryant. It was Justin Blackman.
I was gonna say the dude who went to Jacksonville, Blackman. That's right.
And then I think there was one more, wasn't there? Or then was that Tylen Wallace after that? No, that's a big gap.
Yeah, that's too much of a gap.
But no, he was blessed with some weapons at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State this is when like Oklahoma State really solidified themselves as like that always going to be competitive in the Big 12 team. Colorado was still pretty good at the time, but I remember they had to stop the game because someone in the stands was pointing a laser pointer in his eye.
Yeah, now that you mentioned those receiver names, it's all like that's coming back to me now because for a minute I was like Zach Robinson. But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and those were dudes. Both those dudes were Biletnikoff winners.
Yeah,
that's some dope receivers.
Justin Blackman was better, but he couldn't.
He wasn't consistent.
Well, not talent wise, but like off the field was what always got him in trouble.
Right.
But yeah, laser pointer eyes, Zach Robinson.
All right, so those are our random players that we wanted to talk about. I think mine was probably the most randomest.
I think yours was the most random.
I don't know how you remember a Gus Frerotte jersey from 2002 or 3.
It's just one of those memories, dude.
He was on a vision quest.
Were you walking up on him, or did you like see coming up from the front?
Like I don't know, man. Like we saw the back of this jersey, and we're like,
it was number 12, right?
Number 12,
Gus
yeah.
12.
Yeah. So you know who Gus Frerotte was. So I was just like, This dude was really rocking this thing, man.
Was it the maroon or the white jersey?
It was a white jersey.
Yeah, I can see how that could pop.
And and as a Cowboys fan, you see a Redskins jersey, like, man, we want a Redskins jersey. He's rocking a Redskins jersey, and then you're like, Gus Frerotte, what?
Nerd.
I'm like, man, whatever. I mean, so. But anyways, Recon Athlete, episode number 54. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucetto, Snoop over there, waiting for the Call of Duty Modern Warfare to load.
Doesn't that take like 8 days?
Bro, it's taken we started it last night. I think
y'all have last night. Ethernet? Yeah, do y'all have an Ethernet plug-in over there?
I think so.
Do y'all have it plugged in like that, or are y'all on the Wi-Fi?
No, we're on the Wi-Fi. Don't mess with it right now, Snoop. He's like looking at it. He's like looking at it. No, dude, don't mess with it because we're using the Wi-Fi. But when we're done here,
that'll get y'all better. What is it? MBS, whatever it is. If you hardline it,
yeah. We're almost done here.
It took me like 2 days to download 2K the other day.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now Snoop was ready to.
He was like,
he's ready to unhook us.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you all that. I was going to bring this up when we were talking about signing day.
Oh yeah.
So, and Snoop, I don't know if you have any opinion on this too, since you work with high school athletes more. The guys that make the commitment videos,
yeah,
they need to be the guys that hold the nuclear codes.
Oh,
because they know, right?
Yeah, right.
Like the dude that made Alfred Collins' video,
right?
He knew, right?
Yeah.
And how, because they don't make these videos the day of,
right?
They make them and sit on them.
Yeah.
So some of these dudes know before the parents know, before the coaches know.
I wonder if the parents or if the university make them sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
Well, they're not connected to the universities.
Well,
these are all independent.
Right. So there's that would be the only way. Like if somebody decided to leak it, like if you were making those videos, like if I was making those videos and I knew. A university came to me and said,
and Buddy Garrity was like, 50,
"Hey, here's 50,000.
Yeah,
who's the commitment?" And because the reason why the information is valuable is so that you can try to flip. Mm-hmm. And I'm just saying, that would be a breach of contract. But if you're on the NDA, then you could be liable now.
But that never happens.
No, never.
It never happens, which is crazy.
Yeah,
so there's more nudes that get leaked than college commitments. President Nixon got emancipated or whatever.
People leaking on purpose too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, people leak on purpose. But you're right, Zach. I mean, nobody's giving.
Those are the best kept secrets.
Nobody's giving up that information.
That must be a stressful job.
No,
it's got to be,
bro. These dudes in a room somewhere, dark, editing videos, jamming music. Enjoying life.
I didn't see this video. What is?
No, I'm just saying any of those videos you watch, where it's
they have their commitment on there,
right? Where it's like the player walking through and then talks about his hometown, and then he turns around and it's like a Longhorn there, and it gives him a hug or something, and he commits to Texas. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Those videos that say where he's going at the end.
So are you talking about Alfred Collins' video that they showed at that?
No, So after he did the balloon thing, he released a video on social media.
Well, because there was a video. Well, I think you were watching it at the same time I was. There was a video that they played, like a highlight video.
But the video didn't say.
Yeah, you're right. It didn't say.
The video that he posted on social did say. And I'm not speaking specifically on Alfred Collins either. I'm just talking all of these videos.
There's a lot of videos.
Because a lot of times players will say at 11 o'clock I'm announcing my commitment, and then at 11 o'clock he tweets out a video. And at the end of the video, it's 2-minute video or something. At the end of the video, it says he picks whatever school.
Yeah.
So these people know. So they've got it. Their DMs have to be blowing up with people tell me where he's going. Tell me where he's going. Where's he going? Where's he going?
I want to know what they're charging. I mean, you got to.
Snoop, you know how to do that?
You got to be.
That needs to be your next business venture.
You need to be charging something to where
I'm already thinking.
You got to keep this quiet.
Right.
The family has to trust you enough to pay you and keep it quiet.
But at the same time,
you cross.
At the same time, I wonder if they're not getting paid a lot. They're getting paid in clout.
But if you're getting paid in clout, you got to be putting it on your social. And then the next mission is you go find out where these videos are all housed. Then you would know who the person is, who's editing them.
Yeah, that's just so interesting to me. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, we're going down a rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, we need to get into that, Snoop. Daniel and Christopher need to get into those videos.
Yeah, these commitment videos for real.
Shout out to everybody that's joined the watch party in the past few minutes.
Greg Brown. I wonder who's doing Greg Brown's commitment video.
It's probably done. Yeah.
See, somebody knows. Somebody freaking knows.
Shout out to Craig Barnes, Paul Bazan, Natasha West, Kristen Cormier, Laura Bond Harms.
Isn't that a UFC fighter?
It's Daniel Cormier.
Oh, that's his cousin, the Mexican cousin.
Is it?
I don't know. But hey, did y'all see Greg Brown's dad said the only way they'll still consider Texas is if they keep Shaka Smart.
Tell us who Greg Brown is.
You don't know who Greg Brown is?
Tell the people who Greg Brown is.
McDonald's All-American at Vandergrift High School. Top 5, top 10 recruits in the nation.
Yeah, and so his
5-star guy,
basketball
and basketball, correct?
Right.
And Texas was in his top 5 when he released it a few months ago. And he's by far the biggest Central Texas prospect in forever.
Yeah,
forever.
And so his dad says
the only reason they'll consider it is Shaka Smart, and that's always been Shaka's thing is that he can recruit, but he just can't turn those recruits into big name players. I mean, if you're not a one and done, you're like not doing anything at Texas.
I mean, the University of Texas basketball team has been irrelevant. You know, I mean,
and this year pretty much atrocious.
Pretty much for Shaka Smart's whole
tenure
here. Yeah. He's been there to the big dance like twice, maybe. I mean, both times. You know, it's pretty much one and done. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I think one year they won like one
maybe
or two. I think,
one or two. Yeah, maybe Sweet 16, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I know it doesn't mean anything, but didn't they do well in the NIT last year?
Yeah, they did, but I mean that.
I know it's just the NIT. I know.
You know, they made it to the. Did they win it? Or?
Yeah, they won it.
NIT. Yeah, they won the NIT. Yeah. I mean, and is that going to be your goal every year? I mean, I think. Shout out to Wes Washington. He actually said it in our watch party last week. He was asking about if we thought Shaka Smart would still be there next year. You know.
I was talking about this with my dad the other day.
Yeah.
And by the other day, I mean yesterday.
That's the other day.
So in basketball, what puts butts in seats is players.
Yeah.
It's not like if you think of a program that's not getting 5-star guys but consistently wins, they're not packing out the stadium. Like how many Gonzaga games are on TV? Mm-hmm. You know, and Gonzaga's one of the top programs. So if you can get a guy like Greg Brown, I think that'll help. I mean, because you see videos on Twitter all the time of it's 5 minutes till tip off here at Frank Irwin Center, and there's like 11 people there.
Yeah.
We got more listeners on our watch party than they got at these Longhorn games.
Right.
So I mean, I think Greg Brown's got to be a priority.
Yeah.
And to miss out on the guy that's down the street,
literally.
that chose. I mean, he chose to go to Vandergrift. He could be at Montverde. He can be at anywhere he wants. He could be at IMG, but he chose to stay at Vandergrift. So that has to do with something with him wanting to be in Austin. Mm-hmm. So I think that he's got to be a priority. And that team, I looked at the roster. The only senior they have is the walk-on from Vandergrift. So their whole team is coming
Texas.
back. Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you give Shaka, you say you have to get Greg Brown and you have to win next year. We'll give you another year. I think fans will hate it, but I think it makes sense. Plus, my dad made another good point, is that they still have another year before they move into the new arena.
Yeah.
So let Shaka get the recruit. Let Shaka bring this name back to Texas, and then get him out of here and say new arena, new coach, new program, new culture, starting fresh.
So not 2021. It's going to be 21-22 is when the arena?
Correct. Okay. So this season, next season, new arena.
Yeah. And I think that's really going to be a big change and a big help for the University of Texas. I think the Frank Irwin Center is it's too cavernous. You know, it's just too big. You know, and hopefully that, you know, they'll make room for the students.
Recon arena.
Yeah. And but the students need to be up there. I mean, you watch, you know, like Duke, you know, they have a huge student section. They're all right up on the court, right. You know, and University of Texas needs to do that with the new stadium. Or
even how they did in football, where they were Chris O'Conti like revamped how student tickets work, where that whole section is now all students, and it's first come, first serve. So students are getting there and trying to get there early and sit close. And as just like basketball was suffering from the same problem that football was, where those people that are, I mean, Texas is such a storied program. Like even it play at schools like Texas, like you want to have season tickets to everything. If you're a legacy, if you graduated Longhorn class of Civil War, whatever, like you, all those tickets are just season ticket holders that have been there for 50 years. So those guys aren't standing up. Those guys aren't getting loud. So if he can find a way to at this new arena or even next year at the Frank Irwin Center to get students more involved, and I think a name like Greg Brown, who's especially in this, I don't know if I would necessarily call it mixtape era anymore because you don't really see that as much anymore. But in this like viral moment, like highlight era, Greg Brown's a name that people know. Yeah. So I mean, there's going to be kids that are coming in as freshmen next year that know Greg Brown. There's going to be kids in college that go on Twitter and see Greg Brown and maybe have even gone and watched him play at Vandergrift a couple of times. That'll bring excitement to the program, and maybe those guys will be excited at games too. If Texas lands them and he puts on like a highlight play or something like that, that'll just bring the energy up.
Nice, yeah, and I think if Shaka stays, he does get Greg Brown to come. They have to do something like they have to get into the big dance. They have to get into the
because
NCAA
it's too perfect for them to let them go coming into the new stadium.
Yeah, you have to get in the NCAA tournament. You have to at least get to the Sweet 16, in my opinion.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, because they're not even going to make it. I mean, they'll probably go. It'll probably be another NIT for them. If they even get into that this year. But they next year if Shaka Smart stays, and honestly, I mean, there's not a whole lot of pressure on Shaka Smart right now. Like everybody's kind of like, I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of grumblings, about Shaka and his. There's
but it's almost like
I mean, I know there's.
It's almost like there were grumblings, and now everyone's just waiting for the season to be over and him to get fired.
Right.
I'm gonna add one thing that Greg Brown's parents said that if Shaka Smart isn't there, he's not going to Texas.
Right.
So
yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me. I said that.
That was you?
Yeah.
So
I heard it from Zach.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's got to do
all those
something.
times I've been over here asking him questions. No wonder he's not replying because he's not even listening.
Oh man, don't feel bad.
He's uploading. He's uploading Call of Duty.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he's zoned out.
Zoned out. Shout out to Cindy Warren and Kalunga got onto the watch party. So hopefully, we gotta get King Kalunga back in here, man.
Hey, so have you all got a chance? I know Snoop has. I don't know if you're listening, Snoop. I'm talking about you. Got a chance to watch any Texas baseball?
I haven't watched it yet.
They're fun this year.
I
know it's only like 6 games in or whatever, but they're fun. They got a bunch of new faces. Austin Todd leading off.
Yeah, you can't go 55-0 without going 7-0. They got the game today. And shout out to Cole Posey, former Georgetown State 5A shortstop, starting for Boise State as a freshman. Shout out to him, made a couple of plays yesterday. But they play Boise State game 2 today.
They have another guy from Round Rock as well that got into pinch run a little bit.
Damn it. Oh, shit. Hold on, man. Damn. What is that dude's name?
I would say it's a white dude, but
it is.
Obviously.
Reagan Doss.
Yes.
He also played football.
Yeah. He's a big dude, so that doesn't surprise me. But interesting about Boise State, I was watching the game yesterday. Boise State cut their baseball program in 1980.
Okay.
Yesterday was their first game since 1980.
Damn.
So this is their first year of their program.
And 40 years?
Yeah, and before they cut the program, they were competing as a Boise Junior College. Like they're competing at the junior college level. So this is their first game back and competing at the Division I level at Texas. And my dad was like, "That's so weird that they're playing at Texas for their first game." But a lot of those northern schools, they don't play a home game for like months because their field is
frozen.
Yeah, it's under snow.
You know what else happened in 1980?
You were born.
I was 40 years ago. But anyways, so that I mean, I haven't get to see. I wanted to go to their games.
Don't you even say that. Don't you even say that. I asked y'all in the group message like 3 times if y'all wanted to go to the game today.
He asked like twice. He was like, "Do y'all got any plans after the pod? Do y'all got any plans after the pod?"
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Chris has been busy.
Dude, I'm sorry, y'all.
I was gonna buy
Stop
tickets.
apologizing. You ain't got
No, yes, apologize to me. I really wanted to go.
Listen,
I
you
really
can
wanted
do
to
a
go.
40, man. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Hey, I got something to show y'all. Hold on. Y'all keep
God.
talking.
Oh my! Is this the Blake Martinez jersey? No, because Zach didn't get you the new team. I mean, speaking of, is there any like news if he's going to be moving on?
Not yet. That's, the free agent period hasn't even started
March
yet.
18th. So. But I was just kind of curious. Like, I wonder if this is going to be that jersey. But
I was looking at the ticker and it said Taylor Gabriel got released and Prince Amukamara got released from the Bears as well. And I was like, Taylor Gabriel, that'd be a good name for the Packers to get as like a veteran receiver.
Yeah,
he's the same age as Randall Cobb, and they already let go of Randall Cobb.
Yeah, they ain't bringing him. Not that dude. Not with that age. He ain't
39-year-old.
Dang.
That is the most. That looks like the picture that's at your grandma's house on the wall.
You got to show the camera, man. You got to show the camera.
I can get this to come up here.
This is not 40-year-old Chris. This has got to be like. Was this like 30-year-old?
It was like your high school yearbook picture.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of.
Is that on your work badge?
Hold on. I gotta take this off because it's getting a little.
Did you see this cake when it was like on Instagram at the party last weekend?
No. There's a little. There's my part. There
is that is that your professional headshot?
Okay.
Is that from Maynard High School when you were like an admin?
Nah. What is that shirt?
Bro, okay, so
that's not you don't want to put a tie on or anything.
That's an Easter Sunday, like
yes,
like spring.
Yes.
And you've worn that for multiple Easter Sundays.
That's a JCPenney special Easter Sunday shirt.
Okay,
and I know it's not tucked in.
You know it's not tucked in. You can see it.
All right. So the story behind this. So this was my birthday cake. Part of my birthday cake that my mom got me last Sunday. Right.
It was a huge cake.
It was a huge cake. So that's only part of the cake.
I was about to say this is a week old.
It was
huge.
It was like this out here.
It was a full body picture.
No. Just the cake was huge. But she wanted me to show on that. She was like, "Oh, I'll show it on the podcast." I was like, "Okay, all right, I'll do it." But yeah, I think I'm gonna take this to the party tonight. But anyways, yes, this picture.
They should have put some makeup on or something.
This picture.
You're not even taking consideration the resolution that this got printed on.
This picture was like it's okay. So
they could at least put on a chocolate cake, give you some color.
It was a portrait. It was a portrait thing that the church did, St. Louis Catholic Church over here, my church on Burnett Road, right?
Yeah.
And so, they were like, take pictures for the church program or whatever, yearbook or whatever it is, and then you can buy the pictures and. A
wallet size, a canvas, a cake.
Don't man. So you know the folks getting the 8x10s.
So what I did was I got
baseball card ones.
I got the little package, which is really expensive.
This is what the cake looked like.
Which is really expensive, and
don't even look the same. Your pictures don't even look.
And I got them, and because I got the portraits done because I gave it to my mom for a Mother's Day gift one year, and this was like a few years ago.
Let's see. Will it pick it up?
Kind of. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit.
That was what the cake would look like.
Yeah. So the
I'm trying to eat them nostrils.
So the picture was
right off that
So the
cake.
picture is from
the church.
The church. Like this was actually taken for a church like yearbook or program or whatever, and
after the Easter vigil.
So my mom used and so this is like one of her favorite pictures of me, and I'm like, Mom, it's a terrible picture of me, but she loves it because of the sentimental value behind it, and so she used this picture, and it's funny because like there's a couple other poses that I had to do, and I just remember feeling like, man, this is ridiculous, but I was doing it for my mom's, I was like, and she loved it, she was a great Mother's Day gift. But yeah, so
you look like you're an insurance salesman on the back of the bulletin is what you look like. Straight up.
Yes.
Yeah, you look like
he's got one of those little squares in the back.
Yeah, you look like this is the picture that's on the side of your Suburban for your real estate company.
I need to. I wish I did. So
that's
cool. Your shirt look dingy.
I'm gonna take this to the party tonight. So
this is why you have to wash clothes with like colors. Stuff like that to happen.
Man, it's just and then that's why I brought it on.
Happy birthday, Chris.
That's why I brought it too, because I knew Zach was going to rip on me because that's funny. So yeah, we're going to be at Revelry on the Boulevard tonight, 7:30.
What time? 7:30. I'm gotta prep for when I'm watching the fight and stuff.
Oh, okay.
If it was a little earlier, I would have been able to come through. But
all right, no worries.
I plan on hanging out here. That Texas. Snoop's gonna be trying to download this game for 7 months.
I know, but as soon as we get off here, we'll try to.
Kansas Baylor is on at noon.
Okay. All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. I know this was kind of a random, or really a random episode.
Hey, man, this is a great episode.
So shout out to everybody that put up with us. And Marshall got up there. What's up, Marsh? I hope you can make the party. I'm not sure if you're going to.
Hey, shout out to BJ.
That's
my boy.
You missed him.
He called earlier.
You missed him.
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk to me?
Well, you weren't here.
You weren't here. Jesse.
Hey, you know, BJ,
Jesse
it reminds
Alexis,
me of BJ. You remember when Adam Gase had his opening press conference?
In New York?
Yeah, and he was like zooked out of his mind and his eyes were like darting everywhere. Bro. That was BJ whenever BJ was on a mic at Kreitz. Yeah. He was on a mic and he was like, I don't know if he like didn't know where to look. Uh-huh. And we were like sitting in a line like this because I don't know if Paul was even at the table.
No, it wasn't.
So we were sitting in a line, so he didn't want to like talk like this. So people don't know how to like talk and like sideways and still into the mic. So he was like this, talking the whole time. I was like, dude, what do you do? Like, close your eyes or something. Put some sunglasses on.
Nah, dude, he's in his own world.
That's my boy BJ Adam Gase. Gase.
We're probably gonna put BJ on the show on Wednesday. Yeah. BJ, come through.
All right, so episode 54, wrapping this thing up and wrapping up my birthday week, and starting
away from this cake.
Starting Snoop's birthday week.
Yeah,
Snoop's birthday is on the 26th on Wednesday night. So if I can still keep going, I will.
Chug a lug.
You know, I'll do it for.
Have you ever taken 5 Hour Energy?
Do it for clout. Nah, dude, I don't do any of this stuff like that.
You should take 5 Hour Energy. Honestly, it's so gross. It's disgusting, but it works like really well.
Nah, I don't need any of that stuff, man. I'm all natural, bro.
We're gonna get you some
I'm
ginkgo
gonna
biloba.
put it in your coffee.
I'm all natural. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody doing our thing. Paul?
I want to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Right.
Kreitz Market.
Yeah.
The
Social out in Lockhart, America. Focus Fit in San Marcos, Texas. Thank y'all very much. Shout out to Keith and King Kalunga. We appreciate you. Scott, what's up? Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all enjoying the podcast, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Meet us at Revelry tonight on the Boulevard. We'll click the bell on YouTube. We'll let you know when we upload. We gone.